Ton of information about Daya University's Department of Finance.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
Yeah, it's a lot. But you know what to say? Knowledge is power. We're going to figure out what makes this program stand out, what makes it special. If you're thinking about, maybe applying to Daya's finance department, you're going to want to stick around for this.
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So Daya University, they're like really big on this whole excellence in teaching, industry, academia collaboration, and sustainable development. Like they even want to be like a sustainable green university.
Sustainability is a big part of their identity.
Totally. But how does that connect to their finance program? I mean, what does that even mean for a finance student?
I think that's a really interesting point, and it shows that Deus is thinking ahead. They're not just stuck in the past, teaching old school finance stuff.
Right.
They're bringing in sustainability, which is becoming a big deal in finance, like ESG investing.
ESG investing, yeah.
That's all about environmental, social, and governance factors. And that stuff is only getting bigger.
Wow. So they're preparing students for the future of finance, not just the past.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the finance department itself. They've got these 3 specializations, right? Smart investment, banking expertise, and corporate finance. They all seem pretty different.
Yeah, definitely. Each one has its own thing going on.
Right. Okay, so what's the deal with this dream-based thing they keep mentioning? They claim to be like a cradle of high salaries. Sounds promising.
Bold claim, right.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, their instructors actually have, real-world experience. They haven't just been stuck in, a classroom their whole lives.
Okay, that makes sense. So they're not just teaching from textbooks.
Exactly. They've been there, done that. So they can actually connect what they're teaching to, what's happening in the real world.
Which is what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, you were saying earlier how important it was to find a program with strong industry connections, right?
Totally. Having instructors who know their stuff, actually know what's happening in the industry right now, that is so valuable.
For sure. Okay, so it's not just the instructors, though, right? They're big on internships, too.
Big time, both domestic and international, which is awesome.
So students can really get a feel for, what it's actually like to work in finance.
Yeah, and they also make sure that the students are ready for those big certification exams.
Yeah, those are important.
They get you those high-paying jobs.
Okay, speaking of which, Daya has this pretty impressive list of industry partners, right? Companies like Taiwan Bank, Yuanta Financial Holdings. These are big names.
It's a really impressive list. And I think that's a big part of why they have such good job placement rates.
It's like a direct pipeline to the top.
Pretty much. And then on top of that, they have this master apprentice mentorship program. So students get paired up with someone who's already working in finance.
A mentor can make such a big difference, right? It's not just about getting a job. It's about building a career.
Exactly.
So they're really setting their students up for success.
Yeah.
They're playing the long game. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So you're ready to dig into these specializations?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. This smart investment one is really interesting to me. I mean, how often do you see AI and finance, combined? What does a smart investment even mean here?
It's a good question. It shows you how much technology is changing how investing works. Basically, students learn how to use AI and data science for things like, algorithmic trading and risk management, even portfolio optimization.
So, instead of a human advisor, you've got this AI doing it all for you.
Exactly. And it's working all the time. This is the kind of skill set everyone wants right now. Hedge funds, investment banks, even regular tech companies, they all want people who understand both finance and technology.
It's like a whole new world of jobs opening up. Quant analysis, fintech development, even data science, but within finance. Daya seems to be right there on the leading edge of teaching this stuff.
Super cool. Okay, so what about banking expertise? That one seems a little more, traditional.
You're right. It does seem that way. But they're definitely putting a modern spin on it. So they cover the basics, like banking operations, wealth management, how to analyze credit, international finance, all that good stuff.
But they're not stuck in the past, right?
Nope. They're teaching fintech, how AI is changing how banks work, all of that. Mobile banking, blockchain, the future of how we actually use e-banks.
It's wild how even something like banking, which seems like it's been around forever, is being totally changed by technology.
Totally. And Daya gets that. They're making sure their students are ready for it. That's probably a big draw for students who want to be in that fast-paced, tech-driven environment.
Okay, last but not least, corporate finance. This one seems pretty broad.
It is. They're really trying to give students a complete understanding of how businesses deal with their money. Financial planning, corporate governance, valuation, even some cross-border e-commerce stuff.
Whoa, that's a lot. So are they just trying to make these, like, super well-rounded financial people, ones that can work anywhere?
Yeah, pretty much. And the fact they're including e-commerce, international business, it all shows that the global economy is so connected, their graduates are going to be ready to work in all kinds of industries all over the place.
That's like they're training the future CFOs, right? The people making the big decisions.
Totally. And we haven't even talked about the certifications yet. DEAS is serious about making sure their students don't just graduate with a degree, they graduate with a whole bunch of certifications too.
Oh, right. They said that on average, their students graduate with something like 5 certifications. What are we even talking about?
Well, they prepare students for a lot of the big ones.
Huh.
The CFA, CFP, FRM, those are all really important in the finance industry.
So no matter what you want to do in finance, they've got a certification for you. But how do they fit all that in?
So they have this dedicated investment lab where students can practice on Bloomberg terminals and other software that's used in the industry. Plus, they have exam prep courses and even like a reward system for certifications.
A reward system? Tell me more.
Yeah. They know these certifications are a big deal, so they give students financial rewards or other benefits if they can pass them. It's really smart. Students get these great qualifications, and the school looks good because their graduates are so well prepared.
Okay, so we've talked about the specializations, all the connections to the finance industry, the certifications. It all sounds really great, but what about after graduation? What kind of jobs do their students get? Do they get into good grad schools?
That's the big question, right? And the answer is they do really well. They say that 50% of their seniors get full-time finance internships before they even graduate, and a lot of them get job offers from those internships.
Wow, 50% is really high. That says a lot about the program. But what if someone wants to keep studying?
They've got those students covered, too. DAIA has had a lot of students go on to really great graduate programs all over the world, and they even have these dual degree programs with some really good schools internationally.
So they really do support everyone, whether you want to start working right away or go to grad school or even work in a different country.
That's awesome. Yeah, it seems like they've really thought of everything. They want to give their students the best possible chance of success.
Totally. They're not just like checking boxes. They're going above and beyond.
Speaking of going above and beyond, how do they keep up with all the changes happening in finance?
Yeah.
You know, with AI, fintech, all that. What about the next big thing? How do they stay ahead?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
Well, I think they're being really proactive. Like they're already including these new technologies in their classes, and they've got those strong connections with the industry, so they probably have a good idea of what's coming next.
It's like they're not just teaching what's happening now, but also preparing students for what's going to happen. Exactly, which is what you want in a program, right?
Totally. It's not enough to just learn this stuff anymore. You got to be ready for what's next.
Right. So for anyone listening who's thinking about finance, don't just look at the courses or the certifications. See if the program is really dedicated to innovation, to keeping up with the times. Think about where you want to be in 5, 10 years, and see if that program matches your vision.
That's such good advice. It's really about finding the right fit, not just any program.
For sure.
Well, this has been awesome. We've learned so much about DEA University's Department of Finance. They're really doing some impressive stuff over there.
They are. It's been really fun to dig into this with you.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully anyone listening who's interested in finance feels a little more informed, maybe even inspired. I don't know.
Definitely. And remember, the best investment you can make is in yourself.
Truth. All right, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening, everybody.